Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the things that I wish I knew before I started nursing school. And to all of you who are watching and recently got a letter of acceptance, congratulations. I know you did it, and you're probably super proud, because I know I was super proud of myself when I finally got that letter letting me know that finally got into the program. And I just wanted to kind of like make this video to add some value, because I'm sure like if you're like me, you're probably wondering, what should I do? What should I do to be better prepared? Or what can I do to kind of like make my journey easier? Because that's what I pretty much did. And I did, back then I did look into videos and kind of like try to get prepared. So this video is pretty much meant to add some value to you. I hope it helps you. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you like this video, please like my video. And I'm gonna be pretty much just giving you some tips on how to survive nursing school and what to do to kind of make it a little bit easier for you. Let's get started. So pretty much if you're already in school, you already know that college is, the classes are pretty much time consuming. You pretty much, they give you a syllabus, they tell you what books you need, and it's up to you if you're gonna do your homework or not. It's not like high school. There's nursing, and that's how pretty much nursing school is. It's not high school anymore. You really have to organize your time, and that's pretty much what I wish I would have known before. You know, it's kind of now it's kind of obvious, but back then I really didn't think about how time consuming it's gonna be, how much studying I was really had to put into nursing school, and it was a lot. You know, I had a job, and it hit me, and I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna need more time to do my studying and pretty much do my time manage my stuff, because I did have a kid when I started, and it was just basically trying to get yourself a planner, get yourself something that's going to keep you organized, that's going to keep you update with your syllabus, because they do give you a syllabus. You can actually, in my nursing program, they kind of even gave us like a calendar telling us when their lectures were, when the skills labs, when our clinical rotation started, when we're our exams. They do let you know ahead of time when your exams are going to be, so please plan ahead. Honestly, if you don't plan, you're pretty much planning to fail, because it's really something that you really have to keep in mind, that you have to kind of start doing, planning everything, putting it down, organizing your time, making sure that you're aware that it's not going to be just going to lecture and then the next week you go back to lecture. No, you actually kind of have to make sure that you put the time to it, because nursing school is going to be like another child for you that you have to really nourish and care if you really want to pass. So another thing I wish I would have known is pretty much the grading scale. I know that many times, depending on the nursing program, some of them are 80%, my nursing program was 75. If you got anything below 75, that you were failing. And I know that many people, you're in shock, because you're like, wait, 75, that's still considered like a C in other classes, in other college classes, but not in nursing school. Nursing school, you actually have to do better than that. So if you really want to make sure that you're passing, you have to make sure that you get something higher than a 75. So that was a very kind of like a little shocking to me, because I was not aware of it. I knew nursing school was hard. I heard it everywhere. Everybody that I would ask it, they were like, it's hard. It's really hard. You just really need to study. But I didn't realize that the reason why it was so hard is because of the grading scale. You know, obviously 75 in other classes, you're passing, you're okay. But no, in nursing program, you really had to pretty much get anything higher than that, and just to make sure you're passing. You know, because the first exam in the program is probably one of the most important per the semester, because that's kind of gonna, you know, if you get a higher grade in the first test, it kind of gives you like a little cushion to pretty much you know, not fall below the 75 scale range. So honestly, make sure you have that in mind, make sure you study, and you'll be just fine. Another thing that I would recommend for you to know before you start nursing school is kind of like ask yourself, how do I like to study? How do I learn best? For example, for me, I learned by listening and by looking at videos. I was more like looking at videos, and like I love this YouTube account that's registerednursrn.com. I believe that's what it's called. I'm gonna put it down in the section below for you to check it out. It really did help me. I like to look at videos. I record my lectures to kind of listen to my lectures again, and just taking notes, writing my notes as many times as I needed to kind of like understand what I was studying. So everybody has a different study technique. Some people are they remember easy. All they have to do is just sit and lecture and not take notes, which honestly I wish I would have been one of them, but unfortunately I was not. I really needed to study. I really needed to kind of like put myself into the books and the writing and all that stuff, and just kind of like understand it even better. And it's up to you how you study, how you want to study. I would do flashcards. I would do PowerPoints that I would pretty much create into outline forms. And honestly, it's up to you how you want to study, but it's good to kind of like figure this out before the nursing program, because it's going to be very important for you to kind of like figure it out, and it's going to help you, and it's going to save you a lot of time to stick to that way. And at the same time, one of the things that I did notice is that every semester I was noticing new things. Like I was improving. Every semester I was learning new things. I was like, okay, that's not working for me, but this is working for me. And I kind of like would take off everything that was not working for me, and I would keep adding to the things that were actually helping me and helping me pretty much retain more information. Like I created a lot of little pictures, and I would create my own mnemonics, or I pretty much would find mnemonics to kind of like help me remember easier, you know. It's honestly up to how you want to study. You know yourself best, and just figure it out, and it's gonna make it a lot more easier. So another thing that I would give you as a tip, and that I wish I would have known before, is pretty much to kind of like study since not even day one, since before day one. The reason why they give you a syllabus and the reason why they give you the books that you're required and what you're going to cover for the first day of lecture is pretty much just to kind of like have you prepared. Because in my nursing program, the first day of class, yes, there was orientation. They let you know all the rules and all the things that you're required, but that just pretty much lasts like a 1 hour, if anything, and then they just go straight into the lecture, you know. So it's always good to be prepared for lecture. And when I say be prepared for lecture, it's meaning if you read your chapter, go over the PowerPoint, highlight things that you don't understand in the PowerPoint, so you can be ready to ask questions. And honestly, just be prepared. Look up videos of the information that you're studying prior to lecture, because that's just going to be helpful. Nursing school, one of the reasons why it's so hard is because it's so much information all at once, and it's honestly going to be easier for you if you read it and you kind of like have a better understanding before going into class. So by the time you're pretty much in lecture, you kind of like get a little bit more of understanding of what they're talking about, and pretty much just help you kind of like retain more and take better notes. Another thing that I wish I would have known since day one when I started nursing school, this is something that I actually found out and halfway through my nursing program, is about the app Notability. I used to I did have my iPad, and I had my Apple Pencil that my husband gave me as a gift for getting into the program. It was just kind of like for him. He knew that I wanted to kind of like go eco-friendly. I didn't want to be printing so many PowerPoints like an anatomy. Like I was printing so many things, and I was like, this is so much waste of paper, and it was just not something that I was happy of doing. So thanks to that, one of my friends in the nursing program, halfway through, she was like, you're not using Notability. And I was like, what's that? And she was like, well, what's an app that you can pretty much export your PowerPoints from Blackboard to Notability, and you can be writing your notes and at the same time recording. So that app kind of like keeps your notes organized. You can create like different tabs, different sections for each professor. I do have a video where I show kind of like how I created my subjects and everything. I will be putting the link below. And honestly, that made a huge difference because it helped me keep myself organized. It helped me record my lectures. Before that, I was kind of like recording on my phone, and I was always like looking, naming them and everything. And when I was opening my PowerPoint slide, and kind of like had to have both my iPad and my phone together, and it was kind of like making sure that both of them were being charged. And once I had Notability, it kind of like it was alive. It was so lifesaver because it really changed my study technique. It's amazing. Please check out that video. It's gonna show you how I did it, and I really do consider that a huge factor of me being able to pass nursing school and survive my last 2 semesters while I was pregnant with the baby, and you know, trying to go with the whole COVID thing, remote learning, and it was crazy. But honestly, guys, invest in that. I believe it's only like $8.99. Totally worth it. Please check it out because honestly, you guys are gonna really love it. So I'm sure you always hear how hard nursing school is, because I did, honestly. Everybody I would ask, they were like, just so hard to study. But what they really never told me is that I should be focusing on how to answer NCLEX style questions. And when I say NCLEX style question, is that's pretty much how the exam is, because that's pretty much the test you're going to be taking after passing nursing school. You're going to be taking the NCLEX exam to kind of like get your license. So that's what the nursing program pretty much is doing, is pretty much preparing you to pass an NCLEX exam. And in order for me to do that, I wish I would have known that prior, because then I would have prepared myself a little bit better by buying myself some. I would recommend you buying yourself some NCLEX books that I'm going to be putting the links below, and just kind of like to answer as many as you can, even if you get them wrong, because believe me, at the beginning you're going to be getting plenty wrong because you do not know a lot of information, but that's why you're in the program, to learn, to kind of to better yourself and to get better at it. So my recommendation is, I wish somebody would have told me to at least practice at least 10 practice NCLEX questions a day. And you know what you're going to be studying, you know your syllabus, so focus on whatever the topic is that you're studying and do at least 10 a day, because that's going to help you kind of master how to answer them. And getting them wrong is, honestly, even if you fail, you're kind of helping yourself, because getting them wrong, kind of, you go and read the rationale and it tells you why you got them wrong. And I feel like that helped me a lot, because by reading the rationale, I knew why I got it wrong, and it actually kind of like, I never forgot it, because I was like, okay, this is the mistake I made and this is why I got it wrong. So honestly, guys, I'm gonna be as you can, I had an app, it's NCLEX RN Mastery. I love that app because I would actually practice a lot of practice questions. I had it on my phone, so whenever I was in the bus, or on my way to school, or if my husband was driving me to school, I was pretty much practicing my questions. Or if any downtime that you have, putting my baby to sleep, I would be practicing those questions and making it better for me, because those exams are hard. They will give you anxiety. They gave me anxiety. Every time I had an exam, I knew I was like, I couldn't sleep the night before as much as I tried, because it was just, I'm not trying to scare you here, but what I'm just trying to say is, like, they are not easy. They are not multiple choice. They are pretty much select, auto, that apply. They make you literally think. They are critical thinking questions, because this is why we're in nursing school. We're going to be nurses and we're going to be taking care of patients, and we really need to be on our tippy toes and know everything of what to be able to provide the best care we can and honestly save some lives. And honestly, guys, invest yourself in some books. I will be showing you a couple in the pictures about right here and right here. And honestly, the ones that I'm going to be sharing are the ones that help me. You know, and they're not too expensive. You can buy them used. You can probably maybe buy them with a friend and share them, and, you know, practice together. It's up to you. But honestly, just make sure that you start practicing NCLEX style questions since the beginning. Study for 2 hours and then practice in questions. Believe me, guys, it's going to help so much. And by the time you finish your nursing program, you're going to not need as much time to study for the NCLEX. And that's something that I wish I would have known, because honestly, I feel like I really need to study more. And it's going to save you more time, and you are going to be able to pass it without no issues, as well as the nursing program, because honestly, the NCLEX, if you pretty much know how to answer those questions, you're going to be able to focus on that exam and just do just fine. Another thing that I really wish I would have known before I started nursing school, and honestly throughout the whole program, is about my clinical rotations. Treat them like they are job interviews. And when I say job interviews, yes, they're pretty much, you're gonna, in my nursing program, we were pretty much placed per semester in different hospitals, and it's pretty much just kind of like different floors, different areas. So you kind of like start kind of like seeing what you want to specialize on, what you would prefer to be as a nurse, work as a nurse. And clinical rotations is pretty much, it's 10 to 12 hours. My last semester it was 12 hours until COVID happened, unfortunately. But definitely treat your clinical rotations as if they were job interviews. And I'm not trying to say, like, you know, be a kiss ass, no, but always try to help, try to see who's the charge nurse, try to meet new nurses, ask them as many tips as you can, because that's one thing that I really love to do. I would if they obviously want to help you out, because there's some nurses that unfortunately don't want you around. Maybe they're having a bad day, when it's okay, it's allowed. And just pretty much ask as many questions as you can from them. Be like, hey, how can I do this better? If you need any help, please let me know. I'm here. Try to just be around, not kind of like be underweight, but be there to help. And for your clinical instructor, you know, if you really want to learn, I really love my clinical instructor from the last 2 semesters. She was really on top of everything and always trying to find things for us nursing students to kind of like get our hands on and get our practice. And honestly, just stick to them. Always be grateful for what they're doing. At the end of the semester, always give them like a thank you card. And just always keep in mind that after you meet them, keep their number, because you can kind of like go back to them and be like, hey, can I have a recommendation letter or something? You never know. So many people that you can meet. Is always, every person that you meet is pretty much like an open door for you, an opportunity where you can actually, they can help you out. You don't never know if you can help them out, they can help you out. But it's always good to keep in mind to be kind, to show gratitude, because what they do is not an easy, and just the fact that they're teaching you and helping you become a nurse, it's absolutely amazing. And don't underestimate those 10 to 12 hours. Make the best out of them. I'm definitely going to be making a video on how to be prepared for your clinical, and just kind of like how to make sure that you're prepared. Another tip that I want to give you guys, that I would have liked to know before I started nursing school, is about the skills labs. In my nursing program, I did go to night school, so we had to, for 6 weeks, we had to go straight, 5 days straight for 6 weeks, and it was very, very time consuming, very hard, very draining. Honestly, at the 4th week, I was really tired, and there was a lot of information. We were getting a lot of information thrown at us. But one thing that that you can do to make this better is pretty much watch YouTube videos. We had ATI, so the ATA had some videos. Always go in prepared, write down questions, see what's your, the reason why I say go prepared and watch YouTube videos and see and kind of like try to know ahead of time is for you to be prepared. Because once you have your clinical instructor there, and if you see that there's something you have questions or you don't understand or want to know more about it, you can definitely ask them right there and then. And it's gonna be more time saving for you. You can practice instead of kind of like learning. You're spending your time learning it. You kind of like spend your time practicing it, so you are ready for your skills test, which are gonna happen. Those are all, they're different tests compared to the written exams. This one actually where you actually have the instructors or your professors looking at you, treating the patient and making sure that you're doing the procedure step by step. So I'm definitely going to be making another video about that one, about how all the skills that they're going to require you to know, so you're pretty much ready to start your clinical rotation once you're in the hospital. So honestly guys, just be prepared, watch YouTube videos, look up, they're going to definitely give you a list, just look it up and try to kind of like obviously guide yourself from your clinical instructor in school as well. Another thing that I definitely want to point out to you guys, and that I did know, somebody did tell me at the beginning of the program, and I definitely want to pass it on to you guys and add some value, is it's okay if you guys fail an exam. Honestly, it has happened to me. It happened to a lot of people that I know in the program, because some exams are just too hard, you know. Sometimes, you know, it's not only nursing school that we have to deal with. We have families and other things, and some exams maybe you're not able to study as much. And honestly, I recommend that you really sit down and study. But at the same time, I want to emphasize this. It's okay to fail an exam. Do not let that bad grade define your whole semester, because I had 4 exams per semester. We did have a couple pub quizzes and all of that stuff, but honestly, just try to learn from that experience. If you know, it happens to be that you didn't pass the exam, be like, okay, I didn't pass. Go, I don't know, in my nursing program, they let us kind of like go around the table and see the answers to the questions and be able to, I knew right away what I got right and I got wrong, but it was at the same time a very learning experience, because I was able to kind of read the rationale why I got it wrong right away, which truly helped me. And believe me, I did not forget that. I did not forget why I got it wrong, and it kind of helped me for the final, because at the end of my nursing program, you have a final of the whole semester. So being able to know where you got wrong and knowing your weak points and writing them down right as soon as you get out of the exam, write them down and be like, okay, this is what I need to focus. It's gonna kind of save time for you at the end and final, because you're gonna be able to study that first and then kind of like review a little bit of what you actually knew, because if you really are studying the right way, you're just not going to forget the information. Try to keep it fresh for yourself. Have like a specific notebook for it, write it down, and just treat it as a learning experience. And it happens to everybody, and just don't let it bum you down, don't let it define you. Just try harder the next time, and just make sure that you're studying and really prioritizing your time, and making sure that you're practicing those NCLEX style questions, and always asking your teachers, why did I get it wrong, what could I do better. Always ask for tips, but please don't bummed out by that one bad grade, because that doesn't define your semester. It's 4 different tests. There's some in my program we also had a paper, and it was all the other things that could help you. And just don't do that mistake, you know. Failures happen, and it's all about just learning from that experience and making sure that you do better the next exam. So another thing that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school was that there are a couple of things that I could have done to get a little head start. And if you're like me, which if you're probably looking at this video, you definitely want to be prepared. You want to know what you're getting yourself into. And yes, there's a couple things that you could definitely do to make your experience a little bit easier for you. And that's pretty much to refresh your medical terminology, because it's going to really help you, especially with pharmacology and, you know, the things that you kind of like have to connect, because what you learn in anatomy and what you learn in microbiology and all of those classes, they're not in nursing school. They're not going to be teaching you in depth like in anatomy 1 and 2. They're going to just kind of like go focus on the disease or the things that the specific things like COPD, or things that you kind of need to know what specific things for the lungs, but they're not going to go in depth with you. They're just kind of like give you like a brief introduction, and then it's up to you to kind of like, if you don't know it, go figure it out. So it is kind of like better for you to kind of review that at the beginning before you start nursing school. Another thing that definitely is going to help you in every exam in my nursing program, we had 2 math questions. So if it's pretty much points given if you're really good at math, and it's good to kind of like find those pretty much dosage calculations. If you're good at them, you're going to be good. Pretty much you're going to be getting those 2 questions for free every exam. If you're in similar to my program, and if not, I don't know about other programs, but definitely practice those such calculations, because that's definitely gonna be something that's gonna be we're gonna be doing often as nurses. And another thing that I would recommend is watch YouTube videos. Like I said, I did watch nursern.com. I definitely will be putting the link down below. She really helped me out. I really studied a lot with her. She really explained it to depth, kind of helps you review your anatomy. She explains the whole anatomy and pathophysiology, and then kind of like helps you go all from beginning to end. And it's some of them are long, some of them are short, but they really definitely, if you really don't understand something and you don't have your teacher in front of you, and you want to kind of like understand it on yourself, teach yourself, that's one of the things that you can do. I have a list, that's why I'm looking below here, and just want to make sure that I don't forget anything. And lab values, honestly, that's the #1 thing that if you really want to get a head start, definitely do study your lab values. I'm going to be putting all the lab values that I studied in nursing school down below for you. Definitely create flashcards, do something, study them, because honestly, those are going to be with you your whole career. Since nursing program, you're good if you know them for the NCLEX, and it's honestly, like my teacher said, it's just kind of like extra little nuggets that are going to help you kind of like pretty much cross out certain answers that are not correct by just knowing the lab values. So definitely study those if you want to get ahead and be ready. They are I'm going to be placing some mnemonics and things that I used down below as well. I will also might be creating a video, I don't know, I'll see about that, but definitely do that if you want to get a head start. That's those are the couple things that I would definitely tell you to do. But don't get carried away. Honestly, the program is going to be teaching you. Just make sure that you know the little basics, and just enjoy at least your last couple weeks of the summer, because believe me, after this, and this is not meant to scare you, I just want to be realistic with you, and I want to be speaking you the truth and be honest. It's going to be very time consuming, and you really are going to have to prioritize and make sure that you give nursing school the respect that it deserves, because if not, then you're going to find it the hard way that you're really going to have to start putting some time if you really want to pass nursing school, pass the NCLEX, and become a nurse. So this is pretty much it, my friends. Those are the things that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school, and that I want to pass on to you to add some value to your nursing program, to your nursing program journey. And honestly, guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel just yet, please do. I'm going to be having more videos in the future to help you guys. And if you really like this video, please give it a like. Also, if you're watching this video and you have more tips for our nursing, our future nursing student fellows to kind of like help them with their journey, and you want to help them, please put them down in the comment below. And honestly, guys, good luck, best of luck for you guys. Just make sure that you study, and you guys are going to be just fine. Take care.